Basketball is rolling into the second half of their season.
And we got women's lacrosse star Michaela Michael in studio. What more could you want?
I'm not sure, but Sports Scene starts now. Welcome to the Annenberg Media Center. I'm Keely York.
And I'm Rachel Frayne.
There's been some developing news in the football world. Kicker Matt Bormeister is suspended indefinitely and is under investigation for a code of conduct issue. In a short statement, USC Athletics explained that the school's investigation will be kept private and no information will be officially released until the investigation has concluded.
And in other USC football news, running backs coach Tommy Robinson is being hired away to LSU to work again with head coach Ed Orgeron. Robinson will be the running backs coach, assistant head coach, and recruiting coordinator for the Tigers. Robinson also played a pivotal role in USC's top recruiting class this year.
But switching gears to a sport that's actually in season, USC men's basketball is set to face Oregon State tomorrow and the University of Oregon on Saturday. The team has some momentum behind it as they're coming home from their first Pac-12 road sweep since 2011. And I guess it helps having their star player back.
I mean, Keely, there's really no guessing game. It's huge for them to have Benny Boatwright back. Not only did he put up 13 points and 7 rebounds in his last game, but it was just his second game back since his knee injury. And honestly, Benny's more than just numbers. When he's on the court, he really does force the opposing team to stretch out, giving the Trojans more space in the paint to shoot and score. But don't just take it from me. Benny's teammate Chimezi Metu seems to agree as well.
I don't think he really struggled with anything. He actually kind of got better. He's taking better shots, and I guess just from being on the sideline, he's just watching and seeing where we kind of struggled as a team, and now he's just bringing that that wisdom that he saw from sitting out on the side.
But just because Benny is back doesn't mean that Chimezi Metu is going to slow down. He put up a career-high 29 points with 8 rebounds against Wazoo on Sunday. Chimezi basically has put the team on his back while he's been out. Well, Benny's been out, and the team has managed to come out all right, dropping 4 games. But now that this is a healthy Trojan team, it could be putting some pressure on other schools in the top rankings.
That's exactly right. And tomorrow's match against Oregon State will really be the last time the Trojans can feel comfortable and super confident coming into a game, because after that, the Trojans face 3 top 10 opponents in the next 2 weeks, 2 of which are on the road.
That's right. First up for the Trojans and their tough schedule is the number 5 ranked Oregon, like we mentioned on Saturday. The Ducks are 21-3 and recently upset a top ranked Arizona. The team's only loss in the conference comes from Colorado just a week and a half ago.
And then the team travels to UCLA and Arizona, ranked 10 and 9 in the nation, respectively. And honestly, I do think the outcome is really going to depend on how they perform against Oregon and Oregon State. And if the Trojans can pull 2 wins this weekend, they may just have enough momentum to keep it up with UCLA and Arizona.
Yep, we'll have to see. And even though basketball is on everyone's mind, USC has another team starting their season this week. For more, let's go to Ben Albert.
USC women's lacrosse will enter its 2017 campaign ranked 4th nationally in the IWLCA National Preseason Coaches Poll. Why is this so significant? Well, for one thing, this is only the 5th year in the program's history since its inaugural season in spring of 2013. For another, this is the highest ranking ever for a West Coast women's lacrosse school in what has traditionally been an East Coast-dominated sport. Despite graduating 14 seniors from last year's team, women's lacrosse is poised for a deep postseason run this year thanks to an experienced group of returning players that helped USC to a 20-1 record in 2016. The recipe for USC's success starts at the top, with 2-time reigning MPSF Conference Coach of the Year Lindsay Monday. Under Monday's tutelage, USC finished with the top-ranked defense last season, allowing fewer than 6 scores per game. This year, you can expect that stalwart backline play to continue again, as USC will boast 3 national-level players on defense. Junior goalie and 2017 U.S. Women's Lacrosse National Team selection Gussie Johns will return after leading the NCAA in goals against average last season. As great as the defense is, however, don't forget about the Women of Troy's offense either. Led by first-team All-American and returning senior Michaela Michael, the Women of Troy finished with the 4th-best scoring attack last season, netting close to 14 goals per game. Michael finished 2nd in the nation in total points with 68 goals and 31 assists, and already stands as the program's all-time goal-scoring leader as she enters her final season. Michael will serve as a leader for a program looking to avenge its overtime, heartbreaking loss in the NCAA quarterfinals last year in order to win its first ever national championship. However, the road to the Natty won't be easy. The women of Troy will face 5 preseason top 20 opponents throughout the season, including matchups with number 3 Florida, number 6 Stony Brook, and rival number 12 Stanford. USC will also play host to the regular season-ending MPSF Conference Tournament at the end of April, leading up to the NCAA Lacrosse Championships in May. The proverbial journey begins again this Saturday for USC women's lacrosse when they will open the season against St. Mary's College of California at home on McAllister Field.
All right, thanks, Ben. And speaking of the women's lacrosse team, I'm now joined by senior attacker Michaela Michael. Thanks for joining me, Michaela.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we'll start off. So your season opener is this Saturday against St. Mary's. How prepared do you guys feel going into this first game?
We've had a long preseason, longer than most teams have had, so I feel like we're really sick of battling each other and really excited to finally play another team, and it'll be nice to even open with a conference opponent that we know pretty well, so we're excited.
Right. And so you are now the all-time leading goal scorer in USC history, right?
Know that.
Okay, well, you are. So how much pressure do you think I know you've also won MPSF Player of the Year in 2015. How much pressure is there really for you to come out and lead this team?
It's definitely a different role this year, I would say, just because I'm a senior and there isn't anyone older than me. But it's not as much pressure as it's exciting that our class can finally have our time to be leaders, and the class above us was huge. I feel like we're really excited to step into these roles, and we have a ton of freshmen, and it's been really nice to kind of help them out, show them the way. So less pressure, but more exciting and a little bit more on us.
Right, and so I know you guys are in the beginning of your season, but everybody else seems to be thinking that USC is going to really take it to the finals this year. Do you think that you guys have that potential to take it all the way?
Yeah, we totally have that potential. It's definitely different though, having coming into the season preseason ranked 3 and 4 versus last season 19 and 20. So every year's just been super different, and going into this season we definitely have that belief in ourselves, and it's cool to see that everyone else does too. But we have a lot of work to do, and it's gonna be tough.
Right, so Inside Lacrosse put you on their Women's D1 Player of the Year watch list, and there were 9 other players across the nation. How does that feel to be kind of recognized so individually and then as a team too, since this is really only your 5th year as a program?
It's really cool to finally have our team kind of up there and listed with Maryland, listed with UNC. That's really cool. It definitely takes a long time too for teams to get that sort of recognition, so for it to happen this fast has been really special. But the 3 ranking is definitely cooler for us than anything like individual.
Yeah, and so like we said, you guys are very new, and you've essentially been with the program since its beginning. How have you seen the team grow since you've started and now you're graduating soon?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen everything, especially because senior year in high school was the first year that they had a program, so I watched all those games and whatever. But it's been like a really big process. Those first years, we were really that team like gunning out to prove ourselves and to show that we should be ranked even, or like getting our first win over a ranked opponent and then getting in the top 20 and then cracking the top 5. It's been like, last season was, I guess, a huge jump between 20 and 5. But every year is different, and every game is kind of a chance to prove ourselves even more, which is cool.
Right, and so we were talking earlier, I know that you have lift 3 times a week, you practice 6 days a week. So when you aren't practicing, studying, going to class, what are you doing?
Well, I actually get like an hour or 2 in my day, and I actually have a dog, so I have to go walk her, and she's a husky, so she's got a ton of energy. But yeah, that's the rest of my day basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me, Michaela.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and you can catch Michaela and the rest of the women of Troy this Saturday for their season opener against St. Mary's at McAllister Field.
From one dominant women's team to the next, women's water polo has been getting it done so far. And here to help me break it down, Connor McGlynn, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely.
So they're heading down to the Triton Invitational with a 10-0 record. Pretty nice, I might say. So what have they been doing to be undefeated so far?
Well, USC has a chance to make it 5 straight Titan Invitational championships, and they've been doing a lot of their success to get to that 10-0 record this year offensively. You see right here, they're outscoring opponents 204-34 on the entire season. This weekend alone, they played 3 matches and outscored opponents 72-9. Not only are they getting that offensive productivity, they're getting it throughout their entire roster. From top to bottom, they had 13, 12, and 9 different players score in those 3 matches this season. So it's been really talented on that part.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like they're coming off of their championship season last year. They went undefeated. They're undefeated again. And it seems like they know how to keep it going.
We have a lot of girls that are really invested in the team and give their all, and I think that that, as well as amazing coaching, is what really makes us a consistent team.
She just mentioned consistency. I don't think you can think there's anyone else on the team as consistent as Stephanie Harlevides. She was dominant last season, kind of dominant her whole career. Wow, hello. What has made Stephanie Harlevides so dominant?
Well, you just said it right there. Her whole career, she has been the model for consistency from freshman year to now. She's really shined. She's 4th all-time on USC's all-time leading scorers list, just 4 goals behind moving into that number 3 mark. And she's really taken advantage of being able to play on the other side of her sister, Iana, who's the lefty, and being able to support the right-handed style of Stephania has been really something special. She had a 9-goal performance earlier in the year, so just really being able to step up throughout the entire season and her career.
It's funny because so far you mentioned offense, totally, but Coach Jovan, he loves defense. That's what he preaches, and it's easy to have such a great defense when you have 2 monsters in the cage.
Definitely. Coach Jovan Vavic loves the defense, whether it's men's, women's water polo, it all matters when you look at the person in the cage. USC has been able to shine offensively, which has allowed both of these the two-headed monsters, if you will, get time in the cage. At the same time, Victoria Chamorro and Amanda Longan, they're playing on the same team during the same periods and are both 7 and 8 all-time respectively on USC's all-time saves list. So that's been really impressive to see both of them shine, and they're both getting a lot of opportunities because of the wide margins so far in the matches.
For sure. It looks like obviously they're off to a good start. Real quick, who do you think is going to be the first real test for the women of Troy?
So far they've been able to get these high margins because they haven't played as much strong talent this weekend at the Triton Invitational. If they make it to the championship game, they're going to have the opportunity to play number 5 ranked ASU, so that will be a good challenge. But they won't really get into the meat of their regular season until late March, early April when they start playing in the MPSF.
Wow, that's a nice luxury to have.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for joining us, Connor. You can catch the women of Troy when they take on Santa Clara in La Jolla, California on Friday at 8:30.
It has been a rainy week here at USC, but that doesn't mean sports are any less hot. It's time to light the torch. The number 8 ranked men's tennis team is coming off a dominating shutout against number 5 ranked Georgia. The Trojans started off strong with quick double wins and then rattled off a couple single wins. Jack Yeda clinched the upset with a shutout match for the Trojans. Jake Devine talks about what it's like to take on such highly rated teams.
While we enjoy the benefit of playing every team and just being on the court in general, our goal is to not only face the top teams in the country, but to beat them. And so getting some good wins this weekend, I think, really motivated the team, and it's exciting to see us doing well this early in the season. Hopefully that's an indication of things to come.
The men's volleyball team is coming off an action-packed weekend as well. The Trojans played UC Irvine on Friday, where they snapped a 5-game losing streak. The Trojans made program history by scoring the most points ever in a single game. USC returned home on Saturday and suffered a 3-1 loss against UCSD. Despite a tough loss, the Trojans are still focusing on the fundamentals.
The big thing we've been focusing on is just serve receive, going hard at our routes, and just creating a system where we're protecting each other so teams can't game plan for us. But this one definitely hurts, so we'll have to get back up in the practice gym and go even harder.
The 5th ranked women's swimming team is gearing up for UCLA after some time off. The women of Troy are recovering from a devastating loss to Stanford 2 weeks ago and are looking forward to taking on their crosstown rival and searching for some redemption.
Crosstown rivalries always get everyone really excited, but just to be here with my team and make sure that we're all working towards the same goal, that's awesome. There's no feeling like that.
The women's swimming team takes on Ukalate Aquatic Center just like that. The torch has been lit. Back to you guys.
You know, as broadcasters, we got to pronunciate and say things right, but you know, that might be hard for the announcers at the Oregon State game tomorrow on Thursday.
You're exactly right. Oregon State has two of the same names on their rosters, as does USC.
Wow.
Can I get a drum roll, please, Keely?
You may.
From USC, we have junior guard Jordan McLaughlin, And then from Oregon State, we have freshman guard Jaquari McLaughlin. And if it can't get any weirder, here we have USC's Nick Rakosevich and Oregon State center Grigorije Rakosevich. Try saying that 10 times fast.
Wow, that was a mouthful. Hopefully the announcers tomorrow can do it better than you did. I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. Well, that's all we have for our show today. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll see you next week.